The entire WNBA world seemed to freeze the moment Cathy Engelbert stepped onto that podium. It wasn't just another press conference, it was a reckoning. The commissioner's every move was being scrutinized, every word weighed, every breath recorded by a league and a fan base desperate for the truth. And the truth, as it turned out, wasn't something Engelbert could control anymore. The tension in that room could have snapped glass. Reporters weren't there for corporate talk or soft reassurance. They wanted answers. They wanted to know whether the woman leading the WNBA had truly made the comments that so many players, insiders, and fans now believe she had. When she began to speak, her voice carried the tone of a rehearsed corporate statement, filled with the same PR-polished words she'd used for years. "I have the utmost respect for all our players," she began, smiling just enough to seem composed but not enough to seem confident. It was the kind of smile that hides panic. She mentioned growth, teamwork, empowerment, all the buzzwords that had once worked to charm investors and keep critics quiet. But this time, the room wasn't buying it. The first real blow came when a reporter cut through her monologue. "Commissioner Engelbert, did you or did you not make the comment that players should thank their lucky stars for what you've done for them?" The room fell silent. Engelbert blinked, taken aback by the directness. Cameras zoomed in. Every hesitation was magnified. Her response was awkward and cautious. "There's a lot of misinformation circulating," she said, forcing another uneasy smile. "I have the utmost respect for Caitlin Clark. She's been transformational for this league." It was supposed to sound gracious, but it came off like deflection. Even her mention of Clark's name felt strategic, a deliberate attempt to use the rookie's immense popularity as a shield. "Obviously, I did not make those comments," Engelbert continued. "Caitlin has been a great representative of the game." Yet even as she spoke, the doubt in her voice was unmistakable. The more she tried to convince the room, the more her tone betrayed her. Then came the follow-up. "So, Commissioner, to be clear, you're denying the comments that multiple sources have confirmed?" Engelbert's jaw tightened. Her voice wavered. "That's not accurate," she muttered, falling back on phrases that sounded like they were written by a lawyer, not a leader. The tension was suffocating. Every pause felt like an admission. Every stumble chipped away at her authority. The press could sense fear, and once that happens, the story is no longer yours to tell. Fans didn't just watch the press conference, they dissected it. Frame by frame, every nervous twitch, every glance away from the camera. The verdict came fast, they didn't believe her. On TikTok, users mocked her tone, calling it PR panic mode. On Twitter, the hashtags #AFire Engelbert and "Why Drop the Tape" exploded within hours. Because somewhere in the chaos, rumors started circulating that Nafisa Collier might have recorded their private conversation. Proof that Engelbert had, in fact, made the very comments she now denied. When Engelbert tried to humanize herself, "I'm a mother too. I have kids who are devastated by these lies," it backfired spectacularly. What might have earned sympathy in another setting sounded manipulative here. Fans weren't interested in tears. They wanted accountability. "Your players get fouled on national TV without protection and you're the victim?" One viral comment read. The commissioner's attempt to redirect. Empathy only deepened the growing perception that she was out of touch and unwilling to take responsibility. Then, Sophie Cunningham entered the picture, and that's when the entire narrative shifted. Known for her no-nonsense attitude, Sophie had always been one of the league's most outspoken players. When she finally broke her silence in a local Phoenix interview, she didn't mince words. "If you're going to preach empowerment," she said calmly, "then act like it. Don't talk down to the players who built this league from the ground up." She didn't mention Engelbert by name, but she didn't have to. The world knew exactly who she meant. Her words spread like wildfire. Fans rallied around her. Other players began liking and reposting her quotes. Former WNBA stars publicly praised her for speaking truth to power. The hashtag "Light Your Players Over Politics" began trending within hours. Sophie had done what no one else dared. She said out loud what everyone was thinking. And the league's PR spin couldn't touch her. Even Caitlin Clark, who had stayed silent through the controversy, quietly liked one of Sophie's posts about accountability and leadership. That single action was enough to send shockwaves across the internet. Fans called it a mic drop moment. It was solidarity without words. The rookie phenom and the veteran warrior united against leadership that no longer felt credible. From there, things unraveled fast. Video edits began circulating. Engelbert's awkward denials contrasted against Sophie's fiery quotes and Caitlin's highlight reels. "This is who's leading the league," one caption read under Engelbert's face. "And this is who's saving it," the next line flashed as Clark hit a step-back three. The visual contrast was devastating. Behind the scenes, sources claimed that tension inside WNBA headquarters had reached breaking point. Staff were warned not to comment publicly, and internal memos emphasized message consistency. But none of that mattered anymore. The narrative had escaped their control. When rumors of a secret recording resurfaced, allegedly proving Engelbert's comments, the internet went into full meltdown. "Drop the tape" became a rallying cry. TikTok creators speculated about who had it, while fan accounts swore they'd heard snippets from insiders. Even the NBA began paying attention. Reports claimed that Adam Silver, whose league financially supports the WNBA, had been privately briefed on the situation. "He's concerned," insiders said. "Concerned, Bart? That was executive speak for trouble. Once the NBA starts monitoring your behavior, it's only a matter of time before consequences follow." Meanwhile, the public had made up its mind. Opinion polls among fans showed overwhelming distrust toward Engelbert's leadership. ESPN panels began openly discussing whether she should step down. "If the players don't believe in her anymore, what's left?" one analyst asked bluntly. By the time Engelbert appeared again publicly, the energy was gone. The confidence that once defined her had evaporated. Each new appearance looked like damage control, not leadership. Her words were polished, but her eyes told the truth. She was fighting to hold on. The more she talked about inaccuracies and context, the more fans heard excuses. The league wasn't listening anymore. The players weren't following. The fans weren't believing. What began as a single comment had evolved into something much larger, a full-blown revolt. Sophie Cunningham had become the people's voice. Caitlin Clark had become the league's future. And Cathy Engelbert had become the symbol of everything the fans wanted to change. This wasn't just about a commissioner losing credibility. It was about the WNBA crossing a point of no return. The balance of power had shifted. The players had realized their voices were louder than the boardrooms. And once that happens, leadership can't hide behind PR statements anymore. Engelbert's unraveling will go down as one of the most dramatic collapses in modern sports leadership. Not because of what she said, but because of how she reacted when people finally demanded honesty. Her silence spoke louder than any denial, and her fear said what her words couldn't. The WNBA has entered a new chapter now, one where the truth can't be spun, and the players hold the microphone. The only question left is, will the league listen, or will it watch itself fall apart in real time? If you believe the players deserve real leadership, drop a comment, share this story, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives like this. Because the truth in sports should never stay buried.